Holy Roman Emperor with about 2.5 lengths.
Come February, and we just witnessed one of the greatest equine wonders, Be Safe, shatter the course record and claim the signature Indian Derby crown. And that was just the impetus for the month of Feb, where racing is at its best in the country. If the RWITC and the USL combine to put up a spectacle on the Derby day, the dessert course lingers on right through the month of March up to the 1st of March. The ascendance of exciting racing soars higher and higher on each of the Sundays to follow, culminating with the grand finale of the Omkar Realty-sponsored Invitation Cup weekend. The racing fraternity looks forward.
We all look forward because we meet all the professionals from all over. There's a lot of interaction during that time, and I also feel that now that it's going to come back after 6 years, we must make the most of it and make it into a beautiful event. And such a clash rarely occurs in many, many years. The outstation challengers, if they come well on time, Bombay is a lovely track, and I think they will enjoy their stay here.
Well, it's one of the most important races of the country, and only the best of the best take part. It's not a race that you can really enter. You have to be invited to run, and that's only the best horses get invited.
And once in 5 years we have this gala event. All the trainers around the country are here. The best horses are here to have a runner that day in one of the big races. It is very exciting. You know, once in 5 years it's just a carnival.
Since the Invitation Cup is by rotation and with the entrance of Mysore Race Club as the new turf authority, the waiting time has just increased by a year, and that makes it much more eagerly awaited.
6 years it's going to be now since the Mysore Club is added, and I think since we are getting it now, and I don't doubt RWITC will put up a real grand show, be it with the racing, with whatever other events they want to do.
In all fairness, Mysore have got their turf authority status, and they should be given a chance to host the Invitation Cup.
The excitement is already in the air with this year's Invitation Cup as the RWITC plays host. Be Safe. The new champ on the block will have to further test his class against seasoned campaigners like Amazing Grace and Allendale, the two proven champions of the year gone by. With such achievers in the fray, the Invitation Cup certainly is going to be a cracker of a race this year. So what do the connections really like? We went on the tracks one morning to keep a pulse on the buzz at the racecourse.
I know everyone's making a big hype out of the race, but my personal opinion, and this is racing, anything can happen, but my personal opinion, it's going to be a one-horse race and Be Safe.
How is Amazing Grace, your filly, your top contender for this year's Invitation Cup, really shaping up?
Well, she had a little bit of a, I would say, a bump and a little bit of a gap in her training. So at the moment she's all right and she's back on the track.
You've got Tiger Tops and Aquamarine as well. Which races are you entering them in?
Well, they're both entered for the invitation, and I've entered Tiger Tops for the stayers as well.
Your take on Be Safe this year?
I think he's a lovely horse. He's an absolute star, and it's a pleasure to see horses like him.
Do you agree the universal belief, that whole contention that this year's invitation is going to be a toss-up between Be Safe and Amazing Grace, or do you think that Allender also now after his last run seems to be in the reckoning this time?
You have to respect all these horses. They are champions in their individual right, and it's not just what happens on a particular day. Of course, they have to be right on the day. Sometimes it's not always the best horse that wins, but they're all champions in their individual right.
Let's talk about your representation in Stayers, Supermile and the Sprinters as well. Who do you have this year?
I have Bullseye in the Sprinters. I have Circle of Bliss in the Supermile. So in the Stayers, like I said earlier, I have Tiger Tops, but we still have to take a call whether we're running out there or in the invitation.
Well, I still give the edge to Be Safe. Apart from the Indian Derby performance, every race of his he's kept improving, and he's got the blinding turn of foot which makes him almost invincible. To beat him, you have to stay with him. To stay with him is a big problem.
I've noticed that in the last 4 or 5 races that Suraj has ridden Be Safe, he hasn't used a whip even once. So that's the measure of comfort that he's won with. I think it should be Be Safe because he's getting it's a weight for age race and he's getting weight from Amazing Grace, and he seems to be in terrific form. And he's obviously a cut above the rest in his age group. So this is the first time he'll be meeting someone who's probably as good as him. So it's going to be close, but I would still say Be Safe, being a colt.
You also have Tiger Tops and Quasar. Do you think they will be race ready, and do you think it will not be that easy and that much of a walk in the park like it was for Be Safe in the last 2 outings?
So Quasar, I suppose, would be a tired horse coming into the Indian Derby. He's going to get a month off, which will really help him. And I mean, you know, what he's done is not very easy to do, winning 3 derbies. So he's definitely a really good horse. But you know, I mean, the way Be Safe strides out, the way he's won the Indian Derby, it just shows that he is definitely a cut above both of them. I think maybe Quasar will probably reverse the lens on Tiger Tops in the invitation.
Well, I still think Be Safe. I give the edge to Be Safe because in all these years that I've seen the Derby, I've never seen a horse win it the way he did at the 2 furlong marker. He was still on the bridle while the remaining field was off the bridle. He's got Amazing Grace to take on. She's the only one who I feel can trouble Be Safe. I won't say won't, can trouble Be Safe, because the other she's handled Allender very comfortably. So there's no question about that. Tiger Tops and Quasar will definitely run big races because now they've got a gap. They'll at least have this 1 month to recuperate, to come back into how good they.
How about Allender? What do you think the chances are for Allender, given the way he even ran last weekend as well?
Yeah, well, what he beat that day in a 2 or 3 horse race was nothing much of consequence because Circle of Bliss was a tired filly. She'd gone to Calcutta and come back from there. Yes, it was his first run, but though he's had 2 mock races also, it was his first run. He's won well because, see, if he couldn't beat this field comfortably, he wouldn't even come into the reckoning for the invitation.
Amazing Grace, continuously improving over the years, started late career and has kept on going from strength to strength. Be Safe has never been stretched. Probably this is the only horse who might really give him a fight, and this will be a race for everyone to see.
Be Safe all the way.